I found out like it was a secret. She knows how much I love, I can't talk. She knows how much I love, oh, this immediately changes the color. Oh, right. Okay, I have a haul. I bought a bunch of books and I also got some from my mentor who sent me some in the mail. So first I'm gonna go through the ones that were sent to me and then the ones that I bought and spent a lot of money on. The first three are gonna be the ones that were sent to me by my mentor. Shout out to you, Anna. So the first one is called Rebellion is the Circle of a Lover's Hands. And I haven't started it, but I've opened it and I've read like the first page. It's a collection of poetry and it goes back and forth between the English version and the Spanish version, which I thought was really cool. Very excited to start that one. The next one, I live in a very, very cold state right now. I live in Massachusetts and it's been really cold, and she mentioned that because she also lives in a pretty snowy kind of area, she also mentioned that this book kind of helped her get through the winter. It's called Wintering: The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times by Catherine May, and she said this helped her get through the really cold, like depressing kind of season. So I will be reading this very soon because it's already starting to get cold. She knows how much I love comics and like graphic novels and stuff like that. So she got me Wake: The Hidden History of Women-Led Slave Revolts by Rebecca Hall. And I looked at some of the graphics and they look really cool. And just like really detailed and really well done. And we talked about it a little bit and I taught my first comic, and so that was like her inspiration for giving me this one. Okay, now on to the ones that I got from Book Depository. I haven't heard any bad things about Book Depository, so I'm hoping that it stays that way because I had to stop using like other websites because just so many issues. But Book Depository, very cheap, free delivery on all orders, and it's international. I don't think it could get any better. So hopefully there's no bad news about Book Depository, but that's where I got all of these books from for fairly cheap. Okay, so the first two are part of my big book fear, which I haven't started them yet, but I've heard great recommendations for both of these. So the first one is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Yes. And I've seen this cover everywhere. I wasn't really gonna pick it up, but one of my friends read it and like highly recommended. She read it with her partner and they both like ate it up really quick and just loved it so much. So I was like, why not? Let's try it out. The next one is Babel. I don't need to say anything. Y'all have seen this everywhere, but look how thick. Who? Me, because I bought it. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it. Some people thought it was mid and they're just like, it's very split. Like I haven't seen like a bunch of folks who like just like love it. It's been pretty split and back and forth. So I was like, but my sister said that I should give it a shot because one of her students really loved it and recommended it to her. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I love the books that my sister teaches in her class. Like what she's told me about like some of the texts that she's chosen. So if the student was like, oh, if you like these texts, let me recommend this, then maybe it's good. I'll give it a shot and let you all know. The rest of these are much smaller. I was really intentional about getting books that were like under 200 pages because I want to be able to read a lot, but it's a little overwhelming because of my like schedule, my work schedule, teaching, and all that stuff. So I wanted to get books that I was interested in that happened to be like also really short, so I could get through them in like a weekend or something whenever I have free time. So the first one is called Go Ask Alice, and it's by Anonymous. Apparently this was like a huge book during like the 80s or 90s like drug epidemic that was happening. This was written as if it were a real story about a girl falling into the world of drug use, and it was meant to like steer the teens of that time period into, you know, a better version of life and not like, you know, the drug world. But I think it's been debunked that this was just a fictional story. It wasn't like, it was written as if it were like a memoir or something like that. I heard it was insane, so I was like, let me just try it. Also, the real reason I got it, my mentor, we had a call the other day, and she recommended this because I was looking for like creepy kind of like horror-ish type of recs, and so we started talking about this. So okay, so the next one is called Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this one I've seen the cover everywhere. I've heard really good recommendations for it, but basically it's about a coffee shop where people get to go in, and I believe you get to have a conversation with anyone alive or dead as long as the coffee is still hot, so before the coffee gets cold. And once it gets cold, I think the person kind of fades away. I think I've read like a little bit of it because I bought the or I got like a little sample in like Apple Books or whatever, but I haven't super gotten into it, so I don't know. But once again, one of those like little short books that I could probably finish in a weekend once I started. So the next one is called Pizza Girl, and I heard about this one. I know it's supposed to be like an unlikely friendship kind of thing. I know there's a teenage girl, I think she's pregnant, and I think she is the like pizza delivery girl, and then she, I think, just becomes close with one of her customers who's like an older woman, and so it's just like an unlikely friendship, but they get really attached to each other, or I think the girl gets really attached to the woman, and you know, chaos ensues. We'll see how this goes. I honestly don't know much about it, but I heard it was pretty good, and I haven't started this one yet, so we'll see. The next one is Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. It's a collection of her works. Obviously, she's, you know Audre, but my sister has been harassing me to like read more of her stuff. I did start Zami this summer, and then the school year started, so I started teaching again, and my schedule just took me away, so I didn't get to finish it. But I did want to be intentional about, you know, having more of her work. And I was also looking for something to inspire me to write more, and I think her writing is beautiful. I just haven't read enough of it, so I just wanted to add more of her, you know, more legends to my shelf. Okay, so the next two I'll do together, and they are Things We Lost in the Fire and The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. First of all, I love these covers. Very much a fan of both of them. I just think they're so creative, and like the color, like kind of matching up the blue and purple. I really like that as like a collection from one writer. I love when like all their books kind of, you know, they look good together on the shelf. These are both short story collections, and they were, I don't know if both of them were. I know this one was shortlisted for the International Booker Prize, and I heard it was really, really good. And one of the blurbs was like, this author demands to be read or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're demanding it, might as well give it a try. So I thought they'd be fun. I've been trying to find more short stories to teach, so I've been buying a lot of different like mini collections like this to consider if I want to use them in the classroom or not. So we'll see. Okay, so the next one was also, oh, this one was the winner of the International Booker Prize, and that is All Blood, oh, what is it? At Night, All Blood is Black. So this one actually won the 2021 International Booker Prize, and I heard about the concept of it, and I just was like, yeah, I need to read this. I think there's two friends at war, and one of them is like really badly injured or something like that, and so he begs his friend to kill him so that he doesn't have to suffer. Basically, it's like, how do you live, you know, what is your mindset after you have to do something like that, after you're put in a situation like that? You know, I don't have the answers to that, but I thought it would be it's a really cool concept for a book, and, you know, not impossible. Like, this is a story that could belong to someone. And the blurb on the front also says, full of sadness, rage, and beauty. I don't think I will ever forget it, and then explodes with extraordinary force. So those are great blurbs. It sounds like it's gonna rip me apart, and I'm gonna be crying a lot, but I think that's the tell of a really, really good, like well-written story, if you can make me cry and like care about these fictional characters. It's also translated. I've been trying to read more translated works as well, which leads me to my final book, which I'm actually in the middle of, Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung, and it was translated by Anton Her. And this book, I think so far, this is the best collection of short stories that I've ever read. Because normally when you're reading them, like the first one typically, you know, is to draw you in. So that one's usually really, really good. The second, the third, I usually can't get past the fourth one. This one, I don't even know which one I'm on, but all of them have been so good. I think I'm on, is it Scars? Story number 7, and none of them have missed yet. Like they're so insane. Like I think that too, like that's what it, they're really good, they're really well written, but they're crazy. Like they just, it's horror, it's romance, it's post-apocalyptic. Like there's so much stuff going on in each of them individually, but the writing across all of them, it's just beautiful. The writing across all of them it's just so beautiful. But it's like, I already recommend it. It's so good. So if you're looking for like a crazy, I don't even know, like mind-bending kind of writing, I would highly recommend Cursed Bunny. It's really good. I think that's everything. So that is my haul. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you already have some of these books and you recommend me reading one before the other, I'm already in the middle of Cursed Bunny, but whatever's next is up for grabs. So you let me know if you have read some of them and you really like them and you want to hear like my thoughts on them or a review. Just put it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next one. I did it. It don't even take that long. It was like 20 minutes. The issue is, my eyebrows are good though. The issue is trying to look like something for the camera. It's trying to look like something ashy, so don't ask me. Now watch, I can't upload this. I'm not even gonna put that into the universe. Yes, I can. It's gonna go up perfectly, okay? And there are gonna be no problems. No issues. Anyway, bye. Okay, bye.